Hello everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another Inspiration Collaboration Mystery Envelope. This month, Katie sent out the mystery envelope and she says, what the heck do I make with this? These papers are pretty and all, but I don't know where to start. Give me your best ideas for cards and scrapbook layouts. So she sent the 6x6 DSP. This is Splendid Autumn. And look at these papers. They're so pretty with fall colors and different scenes. So I'm going to show you how to make a layout using them. She also sent some gold textured dots and some natural tones linen thread. And I have it's a green one and it looks like Cajun craze. Okay, so the pictures that I'm going to scrapbook, I'm going to do a single page scrapbook layout. And these pictures are from Rocky Mountain National Park. And check that out. Look at how the clouds are above the mountains there. It's really cool in that picture. So it was last September and the colors were changing. So we've got some scenery there and me looking at the scenery. And so I'm going to use those. And then the papers that I'm going to use, in addition to the Splendid Autumn, are from Sweet Days of Autumn DSP collection. And there's also a scrapbook kit that's available, but I'm just going to use some of the papers from the DSP collection. And then coordinating colors, I pulled paprika and sundance. Okay, so I'm just deciding which colors I want to use here. And I think I'll use this grid pattern, and I'm going to use a large grid pattern for my layout. Okay, so this grid pattern here, it's loosely drawn and the lines aren't straight. So it looks hand drawn on some weathered paper that's it looks like mocha, and it could be pecan pie. So I'm still deciding if I want to use the solid paprika with a small border of sundance. We'll see. So I'm going to use sundance as my mats for my photos and to create that grid background. So I've cut them, I've cut squares at 3 1/4 inches square so that I can have a matte border for my square photos. And then I'm going to overlay my 4x6. So I've cut a mat for my 4x6 photo. And then off camera, you'll see that I'll decide to add a second mat of paprika to my larger photo. We'll take care of that later. So right now I'm just laying my grid pattern out, kind of figuring things out. And then I decided to pull this other pattern paper from Sweet Days of Autumn in. And I'm going to use that instead of the paprika, just for a little more interest. It has this tiny print background. So I'm going to go ahead and create 2 more squares. And we'll complete that grid pattern. So I'm going to have thin lines of that mocha grid pattern paper in between all of my squares. And once I get them down, it'll be even. So that's the basic layout. I think I like that. And then let's go ahead and pull that Splendid Autumn. We'll pull our pictures in first, and then we'll start working with the Splendid Autumn. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 of these, and I love this scene. And you could cut your 6x6 papers into 4 squares of 3 inches each, but I want to maximize the scenery. So I'm looking at where I want my cut lines to be. So I'm going to trim this at the base of the trees and make that 3 inches tall. And then I'll just split this in half. So I have 2 squares that are 3 by 3 that make a complete scene. So I'll put 1 in each square and your eye will put them together. I like that. And then I'll bring in that other one And I'm going to trim this down to a 3-inch square. So just maximizing the scene and figuring out where exactly I want to trim. So I'll trim at the top of the trees and then take that to 3 inches. And I'll place that in the lower right corner. Okay, so I'm going to use this stamp set. It's called National Park Patches, and it has park patches from several, for 12 national parks in the United States. So I've pulled the Rocky Mountain National Park one, and I'm going to ink that up with Mossy Meadow and stamp it out on white daisy. So this hike was to Bierstadt Lake in Rocky Mountain National Park last September. So pretty up there. So I'm going to stamp that out a couple of times. And this has a coordinating die that will cut all these patches out. And off camera, I've colored it in with some alcohol markers and cut it out. And then I've cut 2 more layers so that I can glue these together. And it will have more of a chipboard feel to it. So we'll go ahead and stack those, glue them together. Pretty simple. And that's good to go. Both subtitle and embellishment. Okay, so off camera, I've also gutted this piece of pattern paper since my square of DSP is going to be on top of it. I want to be able to maximize the DSP, the 12 by 12. So I've cut out the middle and then I mounted it on white. And then to make this brown patterned paper pop a little bit more, I'm inking all the way around the edges using some early espresso. And it almost gives it a kind of a 3D feel to it. But I did a nice thick inked edge just to make it pop a little bit more. Okay, so now we can go ahead and build our grid, and I decided that I want the picture of me looking at the mountains to be on the right since I'm looking towards the left, and then the large scenery photo is going to be to the left of that picture. And playing with things right here, and you'll soon I'll switch those 2 pictures around. We'll get the Splendid Autumn in there, and this is where I make the switch. And that one can go in the lower corner, and then we'll overlap the Rocky Mountain National Park patch over that picture. And I have popped that picture with some foam tape, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my patch is on the same level and add some foam tape to that as well. Okay, we'll glue these last few pieces down. And then we'll make another title. Okay, so we've got our DSP. We're going to go ahead and add that. And glue down our larger picture. So pretty. It's my favorite time of year to go up to Rocky Mountain National Park. It's the elk rut, and the colors are beautiful, and it's just the right temperature usually. Sometimes it can get a little chilly, but usually it's really nice out and sunny and great time for hiking. Okay, so my title is going to come from the stamp set that is called Autumn to Remember, and it's currently available. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp out this maple leaf and my title. So I'm going to do 2nd generation stamping. So to do that, you ink up your stamp and then stamp it off on a piece of scratch paper and then kind of huff on your inked image. Just breathe on it, and then the moisture from your breath will re-moisten the ink and you'll get a lighter version of the same color. So that was Cajun Craze, and then I'm going to stamp over this maple leaf image using Early Espresso, and I'm going to stamp Crisp Autumn Days over that image for my title for my page. So I've stamped on the light side of Sundance, and then I'll cut this image out with a tag die. So this set is called Greetings of the Season, and pulled a die here, and we'll go ahead and cut that out. So I've created a tag, and that's my title. So we'll get everything out of the way, and we'll bring the layout back in. And this tag can sit right about there. So I'm going to use the Cajun Craze linen thread that Katie sent, and I'm going to just tie a bow and put that over the circle that the tag die cut. And we'll add that with a glue dot. Pretty simple, but all these, the colors and everything going on with the photos, I think they all come together nicely. So that can go down in that corner. And then we'll add that bow with a glue dot. And then we'll bring in the tag dies again. So this die, it's got rounded, it's thin and has rounded edges. And I'm going to cut out a piece of paprika, the light side of paprika. And I'm going to do some journaling on one end, and then I'll cut off the other end. And then we'll add that. So it's just the date, and it says a hike at Bierstadt Lake, or to Bierstadt Lake. And we'll go ahead and glue that down. And then to finish it off, I'm going to bring in these gold textured dots that Katie sent, and I'm going to scatter a whole bunch of these around. It comes in 3 different sizes. They're pretty cool looking. Okay, and I'll bring it closer to the camera so you can have a closer look here. I will put more close-up still shots on my Facebook page, and I'll put a link in the description below, and you can give a follow and take a look at closer look at this layout. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'd sure appreciate it. And then you can find all of my videos. Make sure you click on the link to find all of the Inspiration Collaboration Design Team mystery envelope projects that the rest of the team have created with these supplies that Katie sent to us. And thanks for watching.